biggest difference you think this team from the first 20 games to the last 3 games?
We've been locked in from the start all the way to the finish. We've been playing 48 minutes all the way through, and you know, that's what Brad and his coaches has been looking for.
Jason said earlier that you were asking him, he said you guys made him believe the hype about you guys a bit too much coming into the season. You were kind of, seemed like you were kind of the voice of reason, like we're not playing very well from the beginning. Did you have to convince them that not to believe the hype and to...
No. You know, I think the hype did that for us. It convinced them on its own, you know. And it's funny because, you know, if you don't humble yourself, the world has a way of humbling it for you. So, you know, for us to go through what we've been going through, it's something that we needed and brought us back to reality.
What do you think you and Marcus Morris have kind of provided for that unit?
Just that energy, that spark, you know, like the Energizer Bunnies. You know, we're the guys that, you know, we come in and we kind of, you know, start things and get things going on energy-wise, defensive-wise, and just, you know, all around the dirtiness of the game. You know, I'm constantly telling these guys that, you know, a lot of games we win aren't going to be pretty. You know, if you're trying to be pretty, then this isn't the game for you. You got to be willing to get your nose bloody and get dirty to win these games.
Are you more complimentary players, you two guys? You can always obviously both score and do those things, but more willing to be complimentary types?
Just doing whatever we have to do for the team. You know, some nights it might be, you know, Marcus is scoring. Some nights I might have to score the ball. Some nights, you know, we got a lot of talented guys, and some nights we might not have to do that. We just have to go out and play defense.
When you look back, go ahead. I was going to say, do you feel that your dirtiness there is starting to, some of your teammates are starting to take on that persona a little bit more?
I think so. You know, everybody's playing with a little bit more attitude, you know, a little more swagger. Like I said, we was missing, and I think we're getting our swagger.
When you look back at last week when you had the day off and then the 2 practice days, how do you think that stretch helped you guys?
Tremendously. It gave us time to rest, and especially those older guys like Al. But no, you know, just get our bodies back right, get our minds right, and get focused back, and regroup and everything like that.
What about from an on-court perspective? Like those consecutive practice days, you guys hadn't had that in a long time.
Yeah. It was nice not to have those days. You know, sometimes you need that. You know, especially with the schedule we've been having and constantly on the go. So being able to have a few days off is something that we need.
Marcus, is there a difference in the locker room from when you guys were going up and down to now? They are kind of corner and winning.
Yeah. You know, everybody's not hanging their heads. You know, it's a little bit more daylight to say in the locker room. And, you know, it's good to see everybody smiling.
Were people hanging their heads at all, or was it just more like, just seemed to be more like shrugging their shoulders?
Just hanging their heads, not in the fact, just hanging their heads in the fact where, you know, they couldn't understand what was going on either. Everybody's trying to find a way to come up with wins, and while we were losing, you know, nobody could find a solution. So we were all just, you know, upset, not at each other, but just with the situation that we were handed.
What do you point to as the difference?
Like I said, we're playing more 48-minute games all the way through. That was our biggest problem. You know, we started picking it up in the second half when we were down, or we were playing desperate in the second half when we needed to. And, you know, these last couple of games we've been playing like that from the start.